And particularly the PNG case study, if you look at the questions, there are questions on the techniques that need to be used, which some of them we have not done as yet. For example, if you read at question 3 of the PNG case, what OD techniques might have been helpful for PNG to use, which we have not done it so far. But no problem, we can handle the first two probably. But there is, again, question 2 has a resistance to change question. So we have done that part. So in any case, my plan was that before we get into a case situation, because the students in ISTD, and this has been my experience, some of you are very experienced, you're working for years, and you are familiar with what happens in organizations. But some are also almost freshers. They have just started their careers, and some of them are not even from a management background. So, are there any such youngsters, who uh, are not familiar with case situations or case studies? Because I would like to explain broadly that there are two kinds of situations that might arise. One is your organizational situation that you have to tackle, and one is an exam situation where you are given a case and you have to find solutions to this. Now, what is a case essentially? A case is a story which gives you certain things that happened in an organization or did not happen in an organization, resulting in a particular scenario, and you are expected to understand what happened and what did not happen. And then there are two things. If you are in an exam situation, typically, as in this paper, the story is given and then there are three questions asked after it. But we also need to understand that the purpose of any professional course is not just to clear the exam. We also need to be able to become competent to handle such situations if we have it, either in our own organization or the organization that we are consulting for. Is that loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Right? So typically in an exam situation, as I said, you may have a story given to you and followed by questions. You have to find answers to the question. Partly it will be available in the case story, or you will have to apply your knowledge of theory and practice to answer those questions, right? But in an organizational situation where either you are working yourself or you are an OD consultant to the organization, you cannot expect them to give you a complete story in written form for you to analyze. Okay? And I'm sure those of you who have worked for a while know that sometimes bosses give just a very vague kind of instruction, if you may, like, oh, there was a phone call from the Bangalore plant, they are having some problem there. Just look into it and tell me, suggest what is to be done. That's it. So you don't have any story. You just know your Bangalore plant has had some problem. Somebody would have called your boss, and that has been handed down to you. It's all very vague. Even then, you are expected to find a solution. So, what to do then? There is no story given. You have to create the story. Create meaning not out of your hat, but create by understanding, calling up the relevant people. If need be, and you can visit, you may have to visit that location to find out what actually happened. So basically, what are you doing is you are creating a case. And then, based on the facts of the case, you are then trying to provide alternative solutions and also inform the boss that if we adopt solution A, which I am proposing, these are the pluses and no solution is perfect. These are the minuses, pros and cons. If we go for solution B, then these are the pros and these are the cons. And then based on a discussion, either you and your boss or a team sits on it and decides which course of action to take. in an exam situation, I personally sometimes try this. And I tell students, don't always look for specific questions to answer. Of course, the story has to be given in an exam situation. And then I just write one little sentence, analyze the above situation and recommend. That's it. Which is what you will face in actual organizational situations. In addition, you have to create the story also. So whenever I start with case studies, I caution people on both these, and I also give a structure that in case there are no questions, in case it is a practice situation in your organization, everything is vague. How do you go about it? So if you permit, I will share a standard which I have developed, of course, taking cues from many other places. The basics I got in my FMS days, and I have developed into a complete case study methodology. How to analyze, find facts, find the problem step by step, and get into the solution. So I would, what should I say, suggest that
Thank you.
okay. So what I'll do is, thank you, Arvind. So what I'll do is, I'll share that structure, and in the meantime, as I share it step by step, I would request you to keep your paper pencil ready or laptop ready or whatever you are comfortable with. Under each of these headings, can you capture the facts of the case? As we go along for each step, then it will give you a systematic analysis, and the questions you will find it easier to handle, right? That would be my approach, suggested approach, if it is okay with you. For example, let's, because PNG case is the first one, and most of you have read it, right? So what I'll do is, as I go with the methodology, I will go slowly, and under each of the headings that I give you, please capture from the facts of this PNG case. Thank you, Suketu. Thank you. So that your structure is ready, and then we will come to the question, right? If today it is possible, perfect. If not, maybe we will complete it next time. So I'll now start sharing the screen about the case study methodology. Okay. Is the screen Arvind
No, sir, your screen is not yet visible.
not visible?
You have to open the screen first and then you have to
Okay.
share, press the share screen.
Yeah, the file is open on my laptop. My desktop. Let me try again. It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Vinita, can I request you to enable it first, sir?
That is why it was not visible.
Yeah. Sorry, sir.
No problem.
Sorry,
No
sir, I
problem.
forgot to make you the co-host. Now you are the co-host, sir.
Okay. I do not understand the technology at all. Arvind knows it very well. But I suppose I should be able to now share the screen. That is good enough.
Yes, sir.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir, it has
Can you
opened.
see the
Yes,
screen?
sir, we can see. Thank you.
Handling case studies. Okay. So I am not as incompetent as I thought I am.
Not at all, sir. It was my fault that I forgot to switch that, make you the
No,
co-host. I'm sorry.
not at all, not at all. I always claim to be IT disabled. So whenever I do something in IT, Arvind has to give me a Nobel Prize, and now you also have to give me a double Nobel Prize. Simple.
Sir,
I am very demanding on that.
sir, it was not a lack in your expertise, it was a technology blocker.
No, fair enough. So fine. So are things in control now?
Yes, sir.
So let me quickly again restate what I expect. There are 6 steps in this process, as I will share with you. So for each step, as I explain the steps, keep your PNG case study in front of you and try to capture the points under that heading. It will give a static analysis. We all gain from that. And then we have a discussion. Okay. Right. So this, as I said, is the methodology you can use in your organization, and you can suitably modify. I am not saying this is the ultimate methodology or anything like that. This is what I have created and I find it useful. Okay. So the first thing that we have to try and capture is, this is the step 1. There are 6 steps in all. Obviously, unless we understand the facts of the case, we will not be able to do anything. That is the first thing, right? For example, if I tell the doctor, the best doctor in the world, that I am not well, please cure me, he or she with all expertise will not be able to help unless I share the facts. I have pain in my head, I have pain in my stomach, I have this problem, headache, whatever, fever, etc. I have to share the facts, and the doctor listens carefully to the facts, because the doctor knows so many things, but he or she has to understand what is the problem with this particular patient. Exactly the same way, you have to understand what is the problem with this particular organization. In fact, when we go to the methods, beyond the general process structure and process things that we did last time, specific methods like action research was my first on the agenda, which time permitting we will do today. So you have to, when you use specific methods, whichever method you use, if you are not clear on the facts, you will not be able to solve any problem. That's very clear. So you need to pay adequate attention. So in the PNG case, what are the key facts of the case? And one more tip for the exam situations particularly, and in general also, whenever you have a case to handle, your first reading of the case should be a quick reading. A quick reading, you should be able to read up in 5-7 minutes, even if it is a fairly long case, 2 pages, 3 pages. Just a quick reading to understand broadly what is it about. Why do I say that? You still don't know what questions have been asked. So people who want to trick you, and when I say trick you, not in the negative sense, tricking in terms of making you more competent, and I do that all the time, I will give lots of facts to confuse you in the case, but the questions that are asked, most of these facts are not needed also. So therefore, in an exam situation when time is a very key factor, you should quickly read through the case so that broad picture as to what is stated in the case is there. Then you get to the questions, read the questions. Now you know what you have to look for, and you have a broad idea of the case. Now you go back and read the case with the specific questions in mind so that you can hit the right answers. As I said, some of the answers will be available within the body of the case. And obviously, if a recommendation is being asked for, obviously that won't be given in the body of the case. That is where your knowledge, your skills will come into play. Okay. So, yeah, there's a question. Please ask. Somebody wants to ask a question?
Sir, no question.
No question? Okay, fine. So the idea is that in an exam situation particularly, and even otherwise, I always recommend that a quick reading kar lijiye case. Have an idea of what the case is about. Then go through the questions carefully. And now you should go back and you should be able to correlate, okay, for this question, this para, this sentence here, this phrase here will be relevant in answering this question. This seems to be the problem, that it starts hitting. Even otherwise, as I said, Your boss tells you, oh, our Bangalore plant, somebody called up, the GM called up, and there's some problem. Please look into it and suggest what is to be done. Again, you have to collect the facts. So the first thing in any case analysis should be clarity on the facts. Now, here I would strongly recommend don't write down complete sentences. That's a waste of time. The printed thing is already in front of you, either in a book or in the question paper or wherever. The printed material, why should you spend time in just copying the key sentence? It is just bullet points you capture. And I am all for bullet points, and that too, if the points are quite a few, I prefer numbering rather than those beautiful bullets, because I am a utilitarian kind of a person. Utility क्या है? अगर फोन पे बात हो रही है और लंबा रिपोर्ट है, उसमें 50 पॉइंट्स हैं, इफ आई वांट अ क्लैरिटी ऑन अ सर्टेन पॉइंट, मैं वो खाली बुलेट सुंदर तो लग रहे हैं, बट हाउ डू आई कम्युनिकेट टू यू विच पॉइंट एम आई टॉकिंग अबाउट? मुझे फर्स्ट 20 में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आई वांट टू डिस्कस द 21st पॉइंट, आई कैन इमीडिएटली ड्रॉ योर अटेंशन, ये आपने लिखा है 21 नंबर पॉइंट में, क्या है जरा समझाइए तो. So that is how we, in management, we don't have faltu time to spare. We need results. We have to be very clear. We are not in, I love English literature, I'm not denying that. But point is that right now we are not in the realm of English literature. We are in a business-like manner. In an organization, we have to solve organizational problems. So we have to capture the facts. So as you read through the case, you can try out a few things right away. What are the key facts that you get? Just bullet, small scribbles. Okay, this is this. This is this. For example, the example of that, it starts with that example of the lady using so many P&G products and all of that, right? So you just capture it in a couple of words. Okay, this is one key fact. Okay. So just try out a few, and then I'll move to the second step. And if you have a question, meanwhile, you can always ask. 2-3 minutes, you can try and capture a few points. I'm not saying all of them you can capture in 2-3 minutes, but just a test. Okay.
Noted down. So
So
should we
now I
speak
can
or
understand in this limited time, you can't capture all the facts, but I am just giving you a testing thing, and you can keep on adding, maybe even after the class, so that we have a more comprehensive discussion next time if need be, right? So your funda is clear on facts of the case. Just capture the key things,
yes, sir.
right? To focus.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right, great, thank you. Now there are too many sirs are coming from you also. It is not only Arvind, now you also have to pay.
I
So I'm absolutely ruthless on this issue. Other things I can, be soft, nice, everything. On this issue, her pair means 1 lakh here in my account. Okay.
Forgot.
So we come to the so we
सर हम
come
आपको
to
ऐसे
the
ही
second.
लखपति बना देने वाले हैं.
बिल्कुल जी बिल्कुल, और मुझे कोई तकलीफ नहीं है बनने में. Now we come to, let us imagine we have collected 20 facts. These facts आपको कैप्चर कर लिया आपने, either from the written case study or from an organizational situation. आपने 10 लोगों से बात करी, किसी ने कुछ बताया, किसी ने कुछ, because remember, in the organizational situation, please don't expect your boss to become your secretary and give you everything in writing. Yeah, please solve this. Obviously, that's not going to happen. They will only give you vague instructions and you have to create the story. So facts of the case, you have to capture by talking to the relevant people, maybe by looking at the relevant documents that are available, what has been the policy in the past, what have been the objections to that policy. I don't know, whatever are the facts, you have to capture. That's the essence of point. Now, from those facts will emerge the problem. What is the problem? And you will find very clearly I have used two words. One is problem and the other is issues. Issues you can say, or issues as a lot of people say these days. So why have I used two terms? I have used these two terms because the moment you use the word problem, it gives you a kind of negative connotation. There is a something negative that has happened or is happening, then only we call it a problem. Okay, something is getting stuck, some wrong things have been done, or you suspect that something wrong is happening, then it becomes a problem, right? But in an organization, please understand there are good possibilities also. For example, if you are marketing a particular medicine and it has become very, very successful after the launch a year back in the northern part of the country, and it is doing very well in the market, customers are very happy. Obviously, now you would like to expand your market to the eastern part of the country, southern part of the country, western part of the country. Why not? Now, that is not a real problem. That is an issue which has been given to you. Well, you are a good marketing person or a good strategy person. This is the data in the north. This is how we have done. And we want to replicate this success story, maybe with our experience now, even in a faster speed in all the other three regions of the country. Maybe sequentially, maybe together, etc. So that is an issue. It's not a problem. Problem is negative. Issues are positive, broadly speaking. Okay. So a case study could be about positive things, right? So what now you have to, out of the facts in step one that you have tried to identify, 2025, whatever facts have come out, you have to find out what is the real problem or the issue. Now, depending on the facts you have gathered or depending on the facts that are given in the case study, you may find there is one major problem and there could be two related or subsidiary problems, not necessarily related, but subsidiary problems, which are not that important, but they are problems nonetheless. So therefore, you have a main problem and two subsidiary problems. You could even have tertiary problems, very micro, small things. So it depends on the facts that you have collected or the material given in the case. What is there could be three major problems. I can't predict. That will depend on the content of the case or the situation that you are handling. So you could be three major problems. There could be one major problem, two subsidiary problems. There could be some tertiary problems also. They will all depend on. So try to identify now in this PNG case, what is the problem? Is there a problem? Is there an issue? Etc. etc. Just again try to do that exercise. I'm just giving you a little experience and you can continue with it post the class.
This is very nice methodology, sir. Thank you. I mean, if we had done this in the last sem also, it would have been great. These steps are very sensible and very nice.
Now that is exactly why before going into direct solving of the case, I wanted to give it a structure so that, I am a person who cannot work without structure. Even if when I have to write a report and I tell my students also, first you create the structure of your report. Don't just keep on collecting
Makes
data
sense,
and
sir.
information because you will be sitting on a pile of data or ocean of information and then don't know what to do about it. For example,
Yes, it
simple
often
thing I tell
happens.
them. Yes, absolutely. And then you are all at sea. So first structure your report. These will be my chapters. And I start with the cover. I said, you don't need any data to create the cover page of your report. Why are you waiting for that? सर अभी रिपोर्ट वो डेटा आया नहीं, रेस्पोंडेंट्स हैव नॉट रेस्पोंडेड. मैंने कहा कवर शीट में रेस्पोंडेंट ने क्या करना है? लिटरेचर सर्वे आपका, उसमें रेस्पोंडेंट ने क्या करना है? आपको किस किस को थैंक्स करना है? व्हाई डोंट यू राइट इट डाउन? सो द पॉइंट इज
That is the biggest takeaway, sir, for this.
Thank you so much, a person of your seniority saying that. So you have given me a Nobel Prize already. Good. So that compensates for one, sir.
Session.
Okay. सिर्फ एक की छूट मिली है, ज्यादा नहीं. हाँ, कहीं आप सोचो कि सबका छूट मिल गया. Okay. So we need to identify the problem.
Done. Written down. Yes,
Oh,
written
great.
down. Some.
Written down. So do we proceed? All others agree?
Yes.
Or most of you agree?
Yes, sir.
Okay. तो अभी आपके सामने फैक्ट्स आ गया. फैक्ट्स में से आपने चुना कि ये प्रॉब्लम तो ये है, 2 प्रॉब्लम है, 4 प्रॉब्लम है, 3 प्रॉब्लम है, बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, छोटा प्रॉब्लम है. दैट इज व्हाट यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई. अब आ गया आपके पास ये 2 चीजें स्ट्रक्चर हो गई. अब आपको करना है इसकी एनालिसिस. क्योंकि whatever results you want or whatever decisions you want to take, you can't take it without analyzing कि ये क्या है, क्या चक्कर. फैक्ट्स मेरे पास है, प्रॉब्लम मेरे पास है, इसमें अब क्या तथ्य निकलता है, what is the derivation from this, and that will come to analysis. Now analysis के I would say there are 2 parts. You can say direct and indirect. डायरेक्ट एनालिसिस के बहुत सारे मॉड्यूल्स आपके पास हैं, स्टार्टिंग विद द बेसिक SWOT जो मैंने इसमें लिखा है. You can go for pest analysis, pestle analysis, this, that, and the other. I can go till the cows come home on the various this thing, because I teach business strategy also, and I have implemented in the corporate roles that I have, and as a management consultant. So strategy comes kind of that way, particularly strategy is rooted in HR. So the point here is, whenever you do analysis, the direct analysis part, virtually everybody does. That is kind of obvious. But you have to remember that there are certain factors that are there which we should not lose sight of. For example, if it is a technical issue, let's say, some quality problem is coming, the machine is misbehaving, right? Something like that is happening. That machine, if it misbehaves in the same way in the US and in India, the problem is the same. The solution will also be the same. But what we have to also factor in is the things that are different and they influence in different ways. That is why, particularly in the realm of HR, a solution which is perfectly fine, it has been implemented in Europe, in US and everything, may not be implemented in India, even though it has phenomenal success. And within India also, something which works in the north may not work in the south, or something which works in the east will not work in the west. Okay, so this is where we are have to just give you an example. If you want to, you will see that around every festival, you have some kind of sales promotion activities happening all over the place. Okay. So you have to be sensitive to the culture. I am not saying that is right or wrong. Please don't. I have said in the previous class also, most problems begin when we start mixing right and wrong with real and unreal. Right and wrong with real and unreal. Now, in the northern part of the country and many other areas also, there is this whole game of, you know, uh, the certain periods of the year, particularly Navratri and Shraddh and all of that, when people do not buy iron. My carpenter, for instance, will always insist, आज शनिचर है हम कील नहीं खरीदेंगे. And I being the ulta person, I will always buy on Saturday only, just to prove a point, right? So that is my personal thing. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying you have to follow. So now your strategies have to be built around that. Most of India, you will find such bumper offers coming around Diwali time because most people will be spending some money and Diwali is a big, huge celebration. But if you are in the eastern part of the country, you will be delayed if you wait till Diwali. You have to do it at Dashera time. In Bengal, people are willing to spend pre-Dashera or pre-Durga Puja other than Diwali. So your strategies have to be different. People are the same. When do you bring in a promotional offer? How many days in advance? When is it likely to sell more? When is it likely not to sell? All kinds of, this has nothing to do with your product. It has to do with the culture or the belief system of people. So that is why, and in organization A, now I'm typically talking of two factories, maybe side by side in the same location. A culture has been built up in A, which is an MNC, and a culture in a typical traditional Indian company. Side by side, they may be factories, but their policies and systems may be different, right? And that is rooted in the belief system. So that is why analysis, of course, the factual analysis in terms of SWOT and pest and pestle and everything will matter. We are coming to that. But before that, I want to talk of the factors. And for me, factors are, as you can see from the slide itself, these are indirect influences, sometimes completely hidden. People will not even spell out. You have to feel it. And that is where, I always say all management is HR management. All your technology will go for a 6 if you do not understand the people you are working that are working for you or your customer's psyche. Nothing will work. Okay. So that is why, and if you remember last class, I think I did make a mention of it. I don't actually remember whether we reached that slide or not. But Peter Drucker, the grand old man of modern management, very clearly said, culture eats strategy for breakfast. You can have the best of strategies, but if you haven't kept the culture in view, your strategies will come to naught. Right? And I would extend that by saying that yes, not only he was right, but I would just add that culture will eat strategy for not only breakfast but lunch and dinner also. All your strategies धरे के धरे रह जाएंगे अगर आपने इन factors को study नहीं किया. Okay. So indirect influences that has nothing to do directly with the issue that you are handling or the problem that you are handling. और factors के अंदर भी दो parts कर सकते हैं आप. कुछ internal factors होंगी, कुछ external factors. For example, even if you want to do something extraordinarily good, but if there has been a culture which is different from what you are about to bring in, and that is where management of change comes in. That is where force field analysis comes in, which probably we have not done so far, and I keep talking about it just to build the template. That is the essence. Kurt Lewin's force field analysis. The best ideas are not necessarily implemented well and they do not give you the desired results, not because there was something wrong in that thought process. It was a perfectly fine thought process, but the resisting forces were much more. Okay. So, and this is, you can see in the current troubled times also, even when the best of doctors are talking of pro-vaccination, there is a whole lobby which is going about. One lobby is ignorant. They are resisting. Second lobby is the opposition lobby, whose only job is to prove the ruling party wrong or the ruling dispensation wrong. And this is not any one particular party or the other. It has been a constant game. So we are kind of zero sum. So we need to understand this, that there will always be factors which we cannot lose track of. What are those factors that might influence given the circumstances that we are trying to handle? So there will be internal factors, that means within the organization, you will get some kind of resistance to it for the right or the wrong reason. I told you just now, right, wrong may be known to everybody. But for example, can you imagine that a person does not know, I mean, leave aside very small kids, right and wrong is known to everybody. There is hardly any problem there. But just being stuck that this is right and this is wrong, the real world, everybody knows speaking the truth is right and telling lies is wrong, barring exceptional circumstances, you have to save a life or something. But what is the real thing we are encountering? The lies are being spread all over. So that reality we have to tackle rather than what is right and right. We all know what is right, but wrong things are happening. You know, I to observe human behavior very, very carefully, and it is absolutely amazing, shocking sometimes. Now, of course, I don't get shocked that much because of experience. I have actually had the experience of sitting in somebody's office. This gentleman is on Vrat because of Ram Navami. Okay. And right in front of me, he's telling a lie on the telephone. Now, what do I interpret? कहाँ गए भाई रामचंद्र जी, जो ऑनेस्टी के एपिटोम है, जिनके लिए आप व्रत रख रहे हो? What do you do? क्या नहीं पता उसको कि क्या सच है और क्या झूठ, और अपने सेल्फिश इंटरेस्ट के लिए झूठ बोल रहा है मेरे सामने to somebody on the phone. What do you say to this? So we have to go to that depth if we are real problem solvers. And as I said, all management is HR. हर प्रॉब्लम के पीछे कहीं ना कहीं कोई ना कोई बंदा इन्वॉल्व है, and we have to go to that, identify that. So there will be internal factors within the organization that will influence whatever you are trying to tackle, and there would be external. For example, let me give you an example. When we were negotiating with our union, and I have told you probably many times that Escorts was a much bigger company my time. We had 22,000 people. 17,000 of them were unionized under one banner, All Escorts Employees Union. It had a membership of 17,000 people, 12 big plants. अब तो कुछ रहा ही नहीं है, बहुत छोटा हो गया. You know? So the even motorcycle, which used to be one of the key things, is no longer Escorts. It's all Yamaha. हमारा जो Fortis Escorts आप देखते हो आजकल, that was totally Escorts. And so many others, you know. JCB जो आप cranes देखते हो, they were all EJCB, Escort JCB. So it was huge. अब ये 17,000 लोग जो हैं, वो हमारे उनसे उनका जो leadership है, which was a leadership consisting of 41 people. Typically, जैसे MP होते हैं, president की election होती है. We had the American president kind of election. Every worker and staff who were part of the unionized vote, they would vote directly for the president of the union, and 40 representatives will come out of 40 constituencies. The factories were divided into parts, total of 40 over 12 plants. And one representative will come out of that. That 41 member team and then there would be vice president, secretary, treasurer out of those 40, which the president will nominate. And the negotiation team will may have 10 people, 12 people out of them, an equal number of people from the management side. Okay. Now, when we are negotiating the settlement, which happened once in 3 years, right? So obviously you can expect some amount of pressure tactics. कुछ धरना होगा, कुछ night long धरना होगा, कुछ day long धरना होगा, कुछ one day strike होगा, just to put pressure on management to accede to their demand, because they know 1 day strike was causing us those days 30 lakhs of loss, right? So therefore they wanted to put pressure. So 2 दिन का strike करेंगे 60 लाख का loss already management को हो जाएगा. And I'm talking of the 80s and early 90s. So उस time पे बहुत पैसा था ये. So they will put pressure in all possible ways. Now, why I'm taking it up here is they are employees. The entire union structure was from within our employees. सब कुछ ये internal. But जब वो बाहर हमारे गेट के बाहर वो करते थे, धरना डालते थे, you will find many hundreds and hundreds of other people who have nothing to do with escorts are also there. They are also shouting slogans. अब ये क्यों होता? Because please remember, and many of you know already, all the unions in different companies, right, are somewhere affiliated to the larger trade union. Those of you who are in HR purely would definitely know it, that All India Trade Union Congress, AITUC, is a CPI union. INTUC, that is Indian National Trade Union Congress, is a Congress trade union. Hind Mazdoor Sabha is this Lok Dal and other things. Bharat Mazdoor Sabha is BJP and affiliated things. C2, CITU, Center of Indian Trade Unions, is CPM. तो इनका सबका बड़े ट्रेड यूनियन से लिंक. अभी देखिए क्या ये मैकेनिक्स आपको समझना है कि फैक्टर्स कैसे आपको इन्फ्लुएंस करती हैं. क्यों आ रहे हैं इतने लोग? उनका तो कोई इश्यू ही नहीं है. अगर सैलरी बढ़ती भी है तो उनको कुछ नहीं मिलना, और नहीं बढ़ती है तो भी उनको कुछ नहीं मिलना. Why are they sitting on धरना? Because they are being guided by the local MLA और MP. उसके ये सपोर्टर्स हैं, पॉलिटिकल वर्कर्स हैं, और वो हमारे यूनियन को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. क्यों? इट हैज नथिंग टू डू विद देम, बट दे आर सपोर्टिंग बिकॉज अगले इलेक्शन जो लड़ना है एमएलए एमपी ने, उसने अपने कैलकुलेशन बड़ा क्लियरली कर लिया है कि एस्कॉर्ट्स के यूनियन के 17,000 लोगों में से 14,000 लोग जो हैं वो फरीदाबाद में रहते हैं, राइट? और मुझे अगले इलेक्शन में अगर मैं इनको सपोर्ट करता हूं तो मेरे 14,000 वोट पक्के, एज कंपेयर टू मैनेजमेंट के मुश्किल से 150 लोग रहते हैं फरीदाबाद में, बाकी सब दिल्ली से आते हैं, वो तो मेरे वोटर नहीं है. तो व्हाई शुड आई बॉदर अबाउट देम? 150 वोट जाते हैं, कोई बात नहीं. 14,000 वोट, राइट रॉन्ग का कोई चक्कर नहीं. दे डोंट इवन नो व्हाट द यूनियन इज डिमांडिंग. दे हैव पुट देयर चेलास to support the union so that when the election time comes, these guys will support that MLA or MP in the election. These are the external factors. You cannot. अब आपको सामने क्लियर है पिक्चर कि आपको अगर शांति चाहिए तो आपको उस MLA MP को अपील करना पड़ेगा कि भाई क्यों ये सब करा रहे हो, प्लीज. वो अपना he will demand his pound of flesh. He will come in and say, मैंने देखो तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करवा दिया, सैलरी बढ़वा दी. That's what he is waiting for. तो ये डायनामिक्स जब तक आपको नहीं समझ आएगी, you can never be a good manager. So therefore, our understanding has to be much beyond what is obvious. You have to get into this realm of what is happening unconsciously. Those are the factors. Another external factor example, आपकी चल रही है यूनियन से नेगोशिएशन चल रही है, कोई इशू है, उस टाइम पे मद्रास हाई कोर्ट या इलाहाबाद हाई कोर्ट का जजमेंट आ जाता है, राइट? जहां पे किसी और फैक्ट्री में सिमिलर इशू था, and the judgment has gone in favor of the worker. Now remember that High Court has no jurisdiction on this issue. अगर ये फरीदाबाद का इशू है तो पंजाब एंड हरियाणा हाई कोर्ट इन चंडीगढ़ विल हैंडल. अगर दिल्ली का इशू है तो दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट विल हैंडल, राइट? उससे पहले ऑफ कोर्स डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट में होगा. बट the moment you get a judgment like that by a high court in India, it strengthens the union. देखा साहब, वहां पे आ गया ये, अब आप मान नहीं रहे हो फिर भी, तो कैसे चलेगा? Whereas if that has gone in favor of management, we will also use it. देखो भैया, वहां भी यही था, ये डिमांड माना नहीं गया और हाई कोर्ट का जजमेंट है भैया. So that has nothing to do with your problem. That High Court has no jurisdiction over your territory, but it will become an indirect influence. I hope I have been able to explain to you the concept of factors before we go more deeper into the actual SWOT analysis. So think for a minute, maybe capture a few things if you can from the case in terms of what are the external and internal factors that are working in this situation. I am not saying that every case will have everything, please understand. But this is a general structure which will help you to analyze cases and reach sensible conclusions. So just think about it for a moment. What could be the factors that are to be considered within the company, outside? For example, if I remember the case correctly, when the candles business of P&G was affected somewhere in the 1920s because of the electric lamp coming in. Now, what factor is that?
External factor.
External factor, but it is affecting your company's working. Simple. तो आप उसको कैसे नहीं कंसिडर करेंगे?
So, sir, here the changing customer preference is a very important base, and it's external, it is not in your control.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why do you think modern management keeps on saying who is your boss? Customer is your boss. Customer satisfaction से शुरू हुए थे, फिर customer delight आ गया, customer engagement आ गया, customer ecstasy आ गया. I don't know, उसके बाद तो बड़ा ही गड़बड़ है. Ecstasy के बाद कहाँ तक ले जाओगे?
One more external factor.
But at the same time, sorry, yeah.
Sorry. No, sorry, sir. Go ahead. So
No.
Just,
tell me.
Okay.
Interactive is always the best way.
Okay. One more example which is coming to my mind is emergence of a very strong player in the market. For example, Patanjali. Well,
Yes.
Completely underestimated then, but in probably 2 years, it was kind of a nightmare for a lot of FMCG companies and ancillaries as well.
P&G, HUL, they had a real nightmare. You are absolutely right. I totally agree with you. Yes, true. Who was this?
Suketu.
Because I don't have the entire screen of all the participants.
Sure. Suketu here. Suketu
Who said this?
Suketu
Oh,
Rupani.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Wonderful example. And since you have given this example, let me take you a little back in history. As MBA students, we were, studying these cases. As you know, the brand Surf, those days it was Hindustan Lever Limited, HLL, not HUL as it is now. So Surf was a brand from 100 odd years old or whatever, and they were always done well in the market. So somewhere in the 70s, when these other players started coming in, for example, Nirma, for example, Ghadi, for example, Sena, these kind of detergents started coming into the market. The HLL was in its high horse. Oh, these are some local players to put. What will they do? Sorry, we are a big multinational and these are no competition to us. But particularly Nirma of Karsan Bhai Patel, and you should know the history, way back in 1976, Karsan Bhai Patel was working as a chemist with the Parleys at a salary of 450 rupees, mind you. But that man was brilliant, and being a chemist, he was always experimenting with different formulae, and he came up with the Nirma soap, which he launched. Now, when Nirma started capturing a huge market, market share continued to grow, then HLL didn't know what to do, how to compete with Nirma. Because India is always a price sensitive market. Fine, you are HLL, that is fine, but then we don't have the money to pay. And we are getting this equally good product probably, or maybe even if it is a little inferior, the price gap is so much that we don't, we would go for this. So HLL didn't know what to do.
Yeah, so sir, this would bring in the legal framework, isn't it? Because Nirma's code basically because of the legal framework and the policy framework that was available, SMEs को ज़्यादा support कर रही थी government and HUL was an MNC. So this price differential was not basically because of components or anything related to strategy, but because of the SMEs, the policy framework that supported the SMEs.
Correct. Excise का बहुत सारा role होता है इन चीजों में. You are right, absolutely. So if that is applicable, that has to be considered as a factor. आप अपने internal, जिसको हिंदी में संस्कृत में कहते हैं कुकुमंडू, कुएं का मेंढक, उसको लगता है ये सारी कुआं ही is the entire world, तो कुएं से बाहर जैसे ही जंप करता है उसको प्रॉब्लम आ जाती है. So therefore all these things have to be considered. So just to complete that story, तो अगर वो प्राइस रिड्यूस करके compete करते, प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी उनकी थी काफी, they could have reduced the price, but then the customer would have said, अच्छा तो अभी तक हमसे इतना प्राइस क्यों मांग रहे थे भाई जब इतने में दे सकते थे. That would spoil the reputation, which no MNC or rather no company would like to do. Then what did they do? Look at their strategy. They said भाई सर्फ तो प्रीमियम प्रोडक्ट है, ये तो ऊपर रहेगा, और अब तो आपको पता ही है सर्फ एक्सेल, सर्फ व्हाइट, ब्लू, पता नहीं क्या क्या आ गया है, सर्फ एक्सेल ब्लू एंड व्हाट नॉट. So the point is what they did. Then they came up with the strategy of introducing wheat to compete with Neem. And that is the positioning, as we say in marketing. See, they positioned wheat to compete with Neem. It is from the same company, carries the brand of levers, but this is a surf is a premium product and this will compete with. So these are the kind of things that we have to come up with. Right? So these are external factors. I hope external factors is clear. Can we move on to the real analysis? Not real exactly, but the other part of the analysis, which is your actual issue within the given problem area. So we go to SWOT analysis, which you are all aware. And in the last 20-25 years, some authors have tried to use the word TOWS instead of SWOT. TOWS is nothing but it's just spelled in the exactly opposite way. If you read it in reverse, you get SWOT only. SWOT. Am I okay? Are you okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Right? So here the focus has, why did they do this? Just to say that while SWOT starts with strengths and then it looks at weaknesses, then it looks at opportunities, and then it looks at threats. Though this is a hugely popular concept, but I find even practicing managers making the mistake of mixing up strengths with opportunities and weaknesses with threats. We need to be very clear. Strengths and weaknesses always lie inside of you. Opportunities and threats always lie outside of you. And in subsequent slides, I have tried to explain that. And hardly anyone even remembers who brought in the concept of SWOT analysis. It was a guy called Ansoff, ANSOFF, right? So that also briefly I've given in the subsequent slides. So when you talk of SWOT, you do strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. TOWS does two things. One is, it is exactly the opposite way. So, interesting way of presenting, but more importantly and functionally, it cautions us that आपके जो threats है market में, सबसे पहले उनको टैकल करो. Start with analyzing your threats, then look at the opportunity, then look at the weaknesses first. आप weaknesses को overcome करो, strengths करेंगे. So rather than trying to boast about I have this strength, I have that strength, look at the weaknesses first. Similarly, I have this opportunity, that opportunity, that opportunity. Look at the threats first. Right? So that is what we have to remember in today's competitive environment. And what better than COVID to understand this? Aren't we all focusing on threats all the time? The other three have taken a backseat. Right? So in the competitive market, we need to start with analyzing the threats, then looking at opportunity, then looking at the weaknesses that we have given this environment, and then looking at the strengths and how we can capitalize. Okay, this part is clear. So now the sub parts of this. When we talk of strength, there are again two parts of strength. One I call organizational or general strength, and the other is specific strength. What is the meaning? When you talk of an employer brand, for example, at a B school, a fresher who gets an offer from Tata's with X amount of salary, and he or she also gets an offer from a not so well-known company, right, which is giving X plus 10,000 or 20,000. Typically, most of the, unless the graduating student is actually a risk taker, do you see that most of the people will opt for Tata's than that other unknown company, which is even willing to give you more money? Do you agree with my analysis?
Sir, mostly go with brand.
That,
In most cases, people go with
sorry?
brand. Sir, in most
cases, people will go for a well-known brand, even if they pay a little less. Tatas actually pay less than their competitors.
Correct.
But still people join Tata. I remember my own thing. Would you believe this? TCS offered me a job, offering me 800 rupees more than what I was drawing at Escort. They issued an appointment letter to me. And I had to say, Baba, I am quite happy there. And how would you expect me to change for just 800 rupees? And our car loan scheme was much better than the TCS. We were getting 60,000 at that point in time, and the car used to cost about 90,000. And Tatas were giving just 20,000. I said, I can't even afford a second-hand car. So such is the this thing, you know, that brand. No, we are Tatas, so people. But from the freshers, I was experienced of course, but from the campus, people would normally opt for this. Now why am I explaining this story? That is the organizational or the general strength that you have. You still don't know where they will post you. You still don't know who will be your boss. You still don't know what assignment will be given to you, but you still blindly join a company. That is the brand. So that is an organizational or a general strength that the brand has built up over the years. It has a fantastic impression on people. Specific strength is relating to whatever exact problem you are handling. For example, if the union management situation again, there is negotiation happening. Now, if you may be Tata's, you may be Escort, you may be anybody, that remains. But what is the specific strength that you have as per your last settlement? You have fulfilled all your commitments over the last 3 years. That is your specific strength, right? And if you have not fulfilled those commitments from your last settlement, that document you have not, you know, kind of fulfilled the promises that you made, then that is a specific weakness which comes in here. So now if you compare the strengths and weaknesses, what is that organization, unknown organization, who was willing to pay you 20,000 extra as a fresher also from the MBA campus? They had an organizational weakness as compared to Tata. Tata's had an organizational strength, right? So weaknesses is, there is something within me which people are not happy about. Okay, so that is weakness. And there could be a specific weakness, like I told you, that I have not fulfilled. The management had committed that we will give you this in our last agreement, but we have not fulfilled our promise. And we are negotiating on the same agreement. Obviously, then I have a weakness. So is the strengths and weaknesses part clear? Why specific? What is specific weakness? It is relating directly to the issue that you are tackling. What is the organizational or general strengths and weaknesses? Something that the overall image of the company has. Just to give you another example, supposing there is a small factory of some 100, 200 workers, and they go on a strike and sit outside the gate with a tent pitched in. Any outsider on the road who is going from there, unknown company, small factory, etc., the typical impression that a rank outsider will have is, अरे ये छोटी छोटी कंपनी ऐसे ही होती हैं, लूटते हैं वर्कर्स को, इसलिए इनको स्ट्राइक करना पड़ता है, without knowing the fact. For all you know, the workers may be totally wrong. So this is an organizational weakness that small factory has. Now imagine, यही अगर 200 वर्कर टाटा के फैक्ट्री के बाहर बैठे हों और वो टेंट गाड़ के अपना धरना डाल रहे हैं, what is the stranger on the street who has no clue about what is the issue, जब जा रहा है, उसका टिपिकल माइंडसेट क्या होगा? देखो टाटा इतने अच्छे एम्प्लॉयर हैं, पर ये वर्कर तो फुल चूसने को तैयार है, मैनेजमेंट कितनी भी अच्छी हो, इनको और पैसे चाहिए, इसलिए कर रहे हैं. You don't know anything about the issue in hand. But how is it that this company is able to make a positive impact on a rank outsider? It is the organization. And the other company, without having done something wrong, is not able to make that space in a stranger's mind, is organizational weakness. Any questions? Have I been able to explain strengths and weaknesses?
Sir, can you once again explain the example of specific?
Specific means when we started with this analysis, or in any case, as a manager, as a general manager, as a president, vice president of a company, you are tackling a variety of problems. But at one point in time, you are focusing. If we are having a meeting today on a particular issue, so any good thing that you have done relating to that issue is a strength. Anything bad that you have done relating to that issue is a specific weakness. As I gave the example, हमने 3 साल पहले आपके साथ एग्रीमेंट किया था, let's say you are the union leader, और उसमें हमने बोला था हम आपकी इतनी इतनी सैलरी बढ़ाएंगे. अगर हमने वो सब किया तो वो हमारा स्पेसिफिक स्ट्रेंथ है मैनेजमेंट, कि देखो जो भी प्रॉमिस हमने किया था हमने सब निभाया. बट अगर हमने अपने प्रॉमिसेस में से नहीं निभाया है एंड उसी इशू पे डिस्कशन चल रही है, देन इट इज अ स्पेसिफिक वीकनेस फॉर अस, क्योंकि हमने अर्लियर प्रॉमिसेस भी निभाए नहीं.
Fine, sir. Thank you.
It's something like if I take a loan from you of a certain amount and as per my this thing कि मैं आपको 3 महीने में लौटा दूंगा with this interest, अगर मैं वो आपको दे देता हूँ, तो नेक्स्ट टाइम जब मैं आपसे लोन मांगने के लिए जाऊंगा, you will have a positive impression because I fulfilled my promise. बट अभी मैंने पहले ही लोन आपको वापस नहीं किया, इंटरेस्ट तो दूर की बात है, 3 महीने आगे हो गए हैं, अब मैं फिर से आपसे मांगने लग जाऊं, तो दैट्स अ वीकनेस. right? तो इस तरह से आप देखिए कि जिस इश्यू पे आप डिस्कस कर रहे हैं उस इश्यू पे आप स्ट्रांग है या नहीं। अगर आप स्ट्रांग है उस इश्यू पे तो आपका एक स्पेसिफिक स्ट्रेंथ है। अगर आप उस इश्यू पे वीक है, आपकी कंपनी बहुत बड़ी बहुत अच्छी हो सकती है, बट आपका उस इश्यू पे आपका स्पेसिफिक वीकनेस। आई डोंट नो वेदर यू रिकॉल दिस, अबाउट 2 or 3 years बैक एक वीडियो वायरल हुआ था कि इंडिगो का एक वो पैसेंजर हैंडलर टारमैक के ऊपर एक पैसेंजर के साथ क्या झगड़ा हुआ, क्या हुआ, उसने मार कुटाई हो गई। Now Indigo was known for professionalism, on time, this, that, and the other, but on that issue, they had a specific weakness. How can you beat up a customer on the time? Yeah. So that was a specific weakness, not that the entire company was wrong. But unfortunately, and this is अच्छा हुआ आपने ये क्वेश्चन पूछा, because that brings me to a concept जो मैं otherwise शायद mention नहीं करता. There's a concept called moment of truth by Ron Zemke and Carl Albrecht. Moment of truth is an important management concept. आजकल बहुत ज़्यादा सुनने में नहीं आता, but it's a prominent concept which tells you that when the customer comes in touch with something of the company and अगर उसका एक्सपीरियंस अच्छा है, बार बार कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस की बात क्यों होती है कि अगर कस्टमर का एक्सपीरियंस अच्छा है तो अ पॉजिटिव वर्ड वुड बी स्प्रेड अबाउट यू। अगर कस्टमर का उस टाइम पे एक्सपीरियंस अच्छा नहीं है तो अ नेगेटिव वर्ड वुड बी स्प्रेड अबाउट यू। आई एम श्योर यू वुड बी हैविंग इन योर फ्रेंड्स फैमिली, कभी सुनोगे किसी एक बैंक का नाम आया या किसी एक प्रोडक्ट प्रोवाइडर का नाम आया, कभी एक उनके साथ किसी एक एम्प्लॉय ने शायद कुछ बुरा किया था। What will be the typical this thing? The moment you mention that, someone ने no. 30 साल पहले इस ब्रांच में इस कंपनी में ये हुआ था, मैं तो सारी जिंदगी उससे डील नहीं करूंगा। That's a moment of truth, and that's what Carl Albrecht and Ron Zemke have said. When the moments of truth go unnoticed, जो कस्टमर का पेन पॉइंट है आपने उसको ठीक से सर्विस नहीं किया, उस पेन को नहीं हटाया, तो your service or product will go into mediocrity. Continue. That is the problem. So specific, तो आपका जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल वीकनेस है उसको आप एक दिन में नहीं हटा सकते, पर कम से कम आप स्पेसिफिक वीकनेस तो मत क्रिएट करिए, बिकॉज द अपोजिंग पार्टी विल देन हैव इट्स टेल अप कि आपने पहला प्रॉमिस तो निभाया नहीं, फिर पहुंच गए। इनफैक्ट ये ओडी के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में भी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, ये जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं जो वहाँ पे नकली एचआर के लोग बैठे होते हैं, जो एंगेजमेंट सुन लिया कहीं से, एम्प्लॉय एंगेजमेंट सर्वे करनी है, एम्प्लॉय सेटिस्फैक्शन सर्वे करनी है, या बॉस कहीं बाहर से होके आया है, कहीं से इम्प्रेस होके बोल दिया कर दिया, तो वो कर दिया, बट उसके बाद उस पर कोई एक्शन नहीं लिया। अगले साल मुंह उठा के फिर पहुंच गए, भैया सर्वे भरिए। तो ऑब्वियसली द कस्टमर, द एम्प्लॉय हैज अ पेन पॉइंट। यार तुम हर साल आ जाते हो मुंह उठा के हमसे फॉर्म भरवाने, इतने प्रॉब्लम बताते हैं, कुछ करते कराते तो हो नहीं, फालतू में हमारा टाइम क्यों बर्बाद? दोज आर स्टूपिड एचआर पीपल। और मैं तो कहता हूँ why HR is treated as a doormat even today in lot of organizations is because the HR professionals, 50% of them have been absolute jokers. And 50% problem is the company की जो कहीं पे फिट नहीं होता उसको HR में भेज दे, अरे इसको यार हल्के काम में लगा। Whereas HR is the most important function. And I keep on telling students also, if you don't have the commitment to HR, don't come and dilute it. This is the best profession. ये हवाबाजी नहीं, we can handle everything and everyone. Because once you are able to handle everyone, problems will automatically be solved. वो अब्राहम लिंकन का डेफिनेशन मैंने अर्ली स्लाइड्स में दिया भी था, by the people, for the people, of the people. Everything is there. So now I hope I've been able to make it, और एक दो एग्जांपल और दूं मैं, specific strengths and specific weaknesses.
Clear. Just one quick question. In any scenario, organizational strength and weakness that will supersede any specific strength and weakness, correct?
not necessarily so. For the outside world, maybe yes. बट आपके अपने यूनियन में अगर वो आपको टेबल पे बोलेंगे आपने पहले जो कमिट किया हुआ वो तो आपने दिया नहीं, हम आपकी फर्दर प्रॉमिस कैसे माने? ये आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड को नहीं पता. आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड नोज टाटाज एज अ ग्रेट थिंग, और उनकी आपस में अंदर क्या छोटी मोटी प्रॉब्लम्स रही हैं, दैट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू. So I cannot say yes or no to it. It will vary from the problem to problem within a very reputed organization. After all, you do hear the best of like मैंने Indigo का example क्यों दिया? It was known as a very professional airline, always on time, everything, no frills, right? आपको टाइम से ले जाएगा, टाइम से पहुंचा देगा. Their prices, ticket prices are very competitive, all of that. But वो एक जो tarmac पे लड़ाई, and in fact that is where Aditya Ghosh, जिसने सक्सेस बनाया था इंडिगो का, he also quit and went and joined OYO. Right? So I have had the good fortune of interacting with Aditya Ghosh in IMA forum. That way, All India Management Association is absolutely amazing that we get. And being in Delhi, most of their programs happen in Delhi. So that is where the downfall started. And today, Indigo is not considered to be as professional as it used to be. कहीं पे वो पेन पॉइंट, कहीं वो मोमेंट ऑफ ट्रूथ मिस हो गया. जो कस्टमर्स का हाई इमेज इंप्रेशन था वो कहीं डाइल्यूट हो. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दिस इज द ओनली फैक्टर, देयर कुड बी अदर फैक्टर्स. मैंने इतना डिटेल में नहीं स्टडी किया टू बी एबल टू डू अ कंप्लीट एनालिसिस, बट आई एम जस्ट सेइंग दीस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स distort, sometimes distort and sometimes genuinely reduce your image in the eyes of your customer. And then there will always be people who will उसको नमक मिर्च मसाला लगा के और बढ़ा बढ़ा के बोल. जैसे in our country any opposition does to the government, कितना भी अच्छा काम कर लो वो एक कुछ नेगेटिव निकाल के और करें. And again coming back to the emotionality, you will find people who are overly emotional. आप उनके लिए 100 अच्छे काम कर दो, बट कहीं अगर एक काम आप बाई चांस जेन्युइनली भी नहीं कर पाए या भूल गए या आप उस टाइम पे नहीं थे उस सिचुएशन में, उसी को लेके घुमाते रहेंगे. दे विल फॉरगेट ऑल द 100 गुड थिंग्स दैट यू हैव डन. दैट पेन पॉइंट विल मेक देम योर एनिमी कि ये तो हमारा हेल्पफुल नहीं है. दे आर ऑन दैट पॉइंट. भूल जाए. So we need to pinpoint कि ये पास्ट था, ये प्रेजेंट है, ये हमारी वीकनेस है, ये हमारी स्ट्रेंथ, ये हमारा ओवरऑल जनरल स्ट्रेंथ है, ये हमारा ओवरऑल जनरल वीकनेस. तो जिनकी एक ओवरऑल जनरल वीकनेस है, they may have to work a little harder on the specific problem to get a good image about them or create a good image. Have I been able to explain?
Yes, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Good. Okay, Arvind sir, where are we on time?
So we have only 2 more minutes left.
Oh. Okay. So I think good, but let me then quickly finish the rest in 2 minutes so that now you have a structure and you can put down your facts on the PNG case and the other case, and next time we'll take it up in detail so that you have all gone through, analyzed, and then we will come to the questions next.
That will be great.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So we'll finish in 2-3 minutes. And then, of course, opportunities and threats, they all lie outside of the organization, right? For example, if I am a bank, I meaning we are a bank, whatever, and in the area where we operate, the population is increasing, it is an opportunity for sure. भाई एक ही बैंक है, हम ही हैं, और यहाँ पे पॉपुलेशन बढ़ रही है, so we will have more and more customers. So that's an opportunity. But imagine a situation where population बढ़ रही है, बहुत लोग नए नए आ रहे हैं, बहुत सोसाइटीज आ रही हैं, बिल्ड हो रही हैं, तो कस्टमर्स बढ़ने का बिल्कुल चांस है. बट 5 और बैंक आ गए हैं उसी एरिया में. अब क्या होगा कि आपके नए कस्टमर तो जो बनेंगे, जो पुराने कस्टमर है उनको भी ऑप्शन मिल गया, दे माइट रन अवे फ्रॉम. तब क्या करोगे? तो पहले it is always easier to retain the existing customers. They already have some kind of a trust on you. तो पहले आप थ्रेट को देखिए कि आपके करंट कस्टमर ना भाग जाए, and then of course try to capitalize on the new population that is coming. तो इसीलिए टोज का रेलेवेंस है. अगर ट्रेडिशनली स्वॉट से चलेंगे तो आप अपॉर्चुनिटी की तरफ देखेंगे पहले. तो जो कस्टमर आपके एग्जिस्टिंग है वो भाग जाए तो क्या करो, वो थ्रेट को भी हैंडल करो पहले. दैट इज व्हाट टोज टेल्स यू. स्टार्ट्स विद थ्रेट, राइट? दैट इज द ओनली डिफरेंस इन द importance that is given to you. Then of course formulation of corporate strategy. Remember, any decision that you take should not be only taken in isolation. That is what shallow managers do. और इसको बोलते हैं क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग. ये जो मैं आज डिसीजन ले रहा हूँ, और ये पर्सनल लाइफ में भी है. आज तो बहुत स्मोक करने में मजा आ रहा है, सुट्टा लगाने में मजा आ रहा है, खूब दारू पीने में मजा आ रहा है. दिस इज टुडे, बट आई एम नॉट रियलाइजिंग कि फ्यूचर में मैं इससे क्या प्रॉब्लम आएगी. So critical thinking or thinking through process. Remind me next time. I'll give more examples of that because this is a very crucial dimension of any managerial role. Unfortunately, time is very limited, so I'm not detailing. इस slide को next time फिर से कर लेंगे अगर जरूरत पड़ी. तो strategic decision को भी सोचिए. सिर्फ operative decision आज का तो आपने solve कर लिया, short term solution हो गया. मतलब मेरे को 2 महीने से बुखार आ रहा है, मैं रोज क्रोसिन लेके ठीक हो जाता हूँ और मैं खुश हो रहा हूँ. No, that's wrong. This is temporary relief. It is not solving the problem. Fever is just a symptom. It is not the disease. So that is why you have to think long term also. कि आज जो मैं डिसीजन ले रहा हूँ ये सिर्फ आज का प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने का नहीं. And this is how organizations go down the drain, countries go down the drain, because you make short term compromise. और वो बढ़ते 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 strategically disaster हो जाए. So, and last 2 steps, obviously इतना सब करके facts, problem identification or issue identification, analysis, strategy. Strategy के अंदर 2 parts मैंने बताया. अभी अभी क्या करना है, ऑपरेटिव डिसीजन, एंड लॉन्ग टर्म में इन डिसीजंस का गड़बड़ ना हो जाए, हमें लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए क्या सोचना. नाउ यू विल वेरी वेल से जब डिसीजंस हो गए अब क्या, वही तो रिकमेंडेशन. दैट्स ट्रू, बट जब आप डिसीजंस लेते हैं यू आर एसेंशियली आंसरिंग द व्हाई पार्ट, जो अर्ली पार्ट ऑफ द क्लास में मैंने बोला. सॉरी, व्हाट पार्ट. व्हाट हमें क्या करना, दैट इज द डिसीजन. रिकमेंडेशन इज हाउ डू वी डू इट, कैसे करना, हाउ डू वी इम्प्लीमेंट. दैट विल बी रिकमेंडेशन. बेस्ड ऑन दीज डिसीजंस क्या होना. As I said, we need to probably take a few more examples to understand this in the next class or next session rather. And finally, just to give it a complete picture, even the chairperson of a company does not have 100% liberty to take all decisions. Maybe the top boss of the company. For certain major decisions, you have to go back to your shareholders, right? So you will recommend, and then the top management sitting there, which if you are a middle level manager or a senior level manager या top level आपके ऊपर फिर भी हैं, board of directors हैं जो भी हैं, वो अपना डिसीजन आपको देंगे कि आपने 10 रिकमेंडेशन दिए हैं, उसमें से ये इम्प्लीमेंट करिए, इस पे हमें गिव अस मोर इंफॉर्मेशन, गिव अस मोर एनालिसिस, होल्ड ऑन टू दीज व्हाटएवर डिसीजन. And it could be shareholders telling the board of directors if they have enough majority to do or not to do, right? So that is the way decision making process should go in any given situation, right? So इसको आप दिमाग में रख के try to this can be shared. If you want, I'll just share it with Arvind so that you can prepare according to this 2 cases that you have in front of you and we can discuss it systematically. ये देखिए, ये हमेशा याद रखिएगा, ये मैंने ये this is the summary of what strengths and weaknesses are always internal and opportunities and threats are always external. So I think we would stop there unless Arvind has anything else. Arvind, sir,
Sir, you
all
actually,
yours.
sir, it was actually a wonderful approach, to tackle all the problems related to case studies. It will definitely be very helpful. If
Thank
we
you,
have
sir. Thank you.
questions, if we have any questions from anyone, we can take it like today in a few minutes, and if not, then we can end the session, and we'll come up with the cases in our next session. So I'll then, in that case, if we do not have any question, I'll request that in next session, if everyone comes, they should be prepared with all the cases. They should go through. अगर mark कर लेते हैं, that will be very helpful. According to the format that has been given today by Sumit sir.
Sumit sir,
Yeah, please.
sir, I just you on one statement made a company which has general weaknesses needs to work on specific weaknesses to improve their strength.
Yes, absolutely right as a concept. But you see, what happens is when you talk of specific strengths and weaknesses, they will vary from issue to issue. If I have not repaid your loan, that is a weakness on my part, fine. But if I have helped you on something else, if we are discussing some other issue, I have helped you to get, admitted, your child admitted to a good school or something. Now that becomes a specific, I have been able to help you. So which is the issue that you are discussing? That particular issue related to that, whether I have a strength or a weakness. Whereas general or overall is standard. That is there for all issues. Specific has to be issue based. In some issues, I may have the strength. In some other issues, you may have the strength. That is what we have to remember.
So, but can the specific weakness impact your general?
If there are too many specific weaknesses, yes. At a later date, it might. Why do you find so many companies going down the drain? Once upon a time, they were great companies. But gradually, the specific weaknesses kept on increasing and it was not paid attention to, or in spite of paying attention, they could not solve it. And therefore, it chipped negatively bit by bit. And finally, it had a downfall. Possible.
Right, sir. Fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
Again, sir, the same thing applies to you.
Sorry,
too.
sorry.
It's not only to Arvind and Vinita. So please send me a lag before you talk to me next time, right?
Thank you.
So do we have any other questions? If not, then we can end the session and we'll meet next Saturday, 6 p.m. And I hope that everyone will be prepared with the case. I guess there are 3 cases and we'll be prepared.
Arvind, just remind me if I don't send you this one. This particular file, this PPT must be sent to the participants.
Sure.
So you remind me to send this to you and then you can forward it to others.
Yes. So can we end with the, if everyone is okay, and can we end the session for today? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you.
Arvind. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, everyone. Take
Thank you,
care.
sir.